Tim Houston here, and I have a question for you. Have you ever met a networking ghost? No, not the paranormal kind of ghost, not the spirit of some deceased business person that's now haunting the venue that you're having your networking meeting at or your mixer at. I'm talking about the type of person that you meet them at a networking event, or it could even be a social party or social event, and you're having a great time and you're talking to them, and at some point you turn around to find them and they're completely gone. Just like a ghost, poof, they're gone. What happened to them? There's a technique that some people call it a technique, I call it bad manners, that people engage in, and it's called ghosting. Now, it goes by different names depending upon where in the world you are. Some of them have some very ethnic or religious connotations to it, but generally speaking, the practice is called ghosting, and it means basically to exit a situation without saying goodbye, without drawing any attention to yourself, and just disappearing, with the impression that, or expectation that, people won't even notice that you're gone. There's some experts out there that say in a networking situation, instead of being awkward and saying goodbye to people or trying to find a way to leave the event, just go out there and ghost, just disappear. Tell people you're going to pay your bar bill, tell people you have to make a phone call, you're running to the restroom, what have you, and just leave. That's bad etiquette. Networking is all about the creation of new relationships and the development of existing ones through a process of engagement. That's my definition of networking. So the thing that you need to do, if you feel uncomfortable ending a conversation with somebody, or you feel as though that you have to leave the party, the mixer, what have you, what you should do is, when you're meeting someone for the first time and you're engaging in some conversation and you're learning about them, when it's time to move on, maybe to go continue to walk around and perhaps work the room, just say to them as to end the conversation, it was a pleasure meeting you, or I look forward to talking to you again. I hope we could connect a little bit later. You don't have to say later today or later tonight. Hope we can connect a little bit later, or to talk a little bit more later, and move on. It was great meeting you, or great seeing you again. Take care, and then just move on. That way you don't have to go back and say goodbye. I know people that go to networking events and to parties, and they have to not only say hello to everybody in the room, but they have to say goodbye to everyone in the room. And there have been occasions where the person says goodbye to me now, and then 20 minutes later, they're still going around the room. They come back to me and they say goodbye to me again. Well, that's kind of awkward, Well, you said goodbye to me 20 minutes ago. I didn't even realize you were still here, So one thing I would recommend that you do is that with every single person that you meet, whether you had a long conversation with them or a very short introduction with them, if you have their contact information, please send them a follow-up thank you or a pleased to meet you kind of note, email, text message if you have their cell phone number and they would like a text, just real quickly thanking them. And always remember to thank the organizers of the event as well, okay, or the host of the event or the party. Let them know that you had a great time and you found the event to be worthwhile coming. But let's face it, from a host point of view, sometimes it's very difficult to get people to come to the events. When people do come, hopefully they've had a great time. They want your feedback, or at least the courtesy of hearing thank you. So don't be a networking ghost. If you encounter a networking ghost, don't take it personally. Sometimes people just don't know how to exit a conversation, let alone know how to exit a room. Follow up with the ghost as well. Okay, if you have their contact information, say it was great meeting you. I missed you last night. I hope we can connect again in the future. Here are my contact details. So Tim Houston saying, go out there, make your networking more productive, more profitable, and more prosperous. Have a great day.